It was a stormy Friday night, rain pelting against the window like desperate fingers scratching to get in. I was just 11, the eldest of 3 siblings, tasked with the burden of looking after my 2 younger brothers while our parents were away. The power outage had left the house in complete darkness, the only illumination coming from the occasional flicker of lightning. As the wind howled through the trees, my brothers huddled close, seeking comfort from the growing unease that hung in the air. I tried to distract them with games and stories, but the atmosphere was charged with an unspoken tension that refused to dissipate. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated the room, casting eerie shadows on the walls. That's when I saw him, a tall, slender figure standing in the park adjacent to our garage. His silhouette was stark against the darkness, and his eyes glowed an unnatural shade in the dim light. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. The figure didn't move, but his gaze was fixed on our home. Fear gripped me as I realized he was watching us. My brothers, sensing my unease, followed my gaze, and their innocent eyes widened with terror. Summoning the courage I didn't know I had, I herded my brothers into a small, dimly lit room at the back of the house. We huddled together, peering through the curtains, only to find that the figure had disappeared into the shadows. A sense of relief washed over us, but it was short-lived. A loud bang echoed through the house, causing us to jump. Panic set in as we heard footsteps approaching. In a moment of desperation, I dialed 911, frantically explaining the situation to the operateur. The police assured us they were on their way. Minutes felt like hours as we waited in the darkness, the storm outside matching the turmoil within. The sound of police sirens cut through the night, providing a momentary reprieve. The officers searched the property but found no sign of the mysterious watcher. The police suggested it might have been a prank or a figment of our imagination. But as they left, an unsettling feeling lingered. We locked every door and window, seeking solace in the false security of our barricaded home. Years passed, and the memory of that night faded into the recesses of my mind. That is, until a news article caught my eye. The headline sent shivers down my spine. Local man arrested for string of abductions. The accompanying photo was like a punch to the gut. The same man who had watched us that stormy night. As I delved into the details, I discovered he had been lurking in the shadows, preying on unsuspecting families during storms. My heart raced as I realized the danger we had narrowly escaped. The revelation haunted me, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we were mere pawns in a much darker game. The storm had been his cover, the perfect cloak for his sinister intentions. And so, dear listener, as you tuck yourself in at night, remember that danger may not always announce itself with a roar, but can instead slip in with the whisper of the wind. Be vigilant, trust your instincts, and always keep an eye out for the watcher in the storm. Advice to the listener: secure your home during storms, as they can provide cover for the unseen. Stay vigilant and be aware of your surroundings, especially in moments of vulnerability. Share your experiences. You never know when it might help someone else stay safe. In the dense woods of southern Oregon, where the trees whispered ancient secrets and the air clung to a chilling stillness, my friend Jake and I, both military policemen, embarked on an adventure that would haunt our nightmares forever. It was August 2013, and what began as a routine exploration of remote logging roads soon morphed into a spine-chilling tale of the unknown. The sun dipped below the tree line as we navigated our way through winding paths, our headlights cutting through the encroaching darkness. The dense forest seemed to swallow us whole, and an uneasiness settled over us like a thick fog. But the allure of the unknown beckoned, and we pressed on, guided only by the glow of our courage. As we ventured deeper, a clearing emerged. An eerie meadow bathed in an otherworldly light. In its center sat an oversized, brightly painted picnic table, a grotesque mockery of normality in the heart of the wilderness. Beside it, a worn-out tent flapped in the cold breeze, abandoned like a ghostly remnant of forgotten joy. We exchanged uneasy glances, but our curiosity propelled us forward. As we approached the peculiar scene, a chill ran down my spine, and an unsettling silence blanketed the meadow. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, as if nature itself recognized the intrusion. Suddenly, a distant snap echoed through the stillness. we turned to see a beat-up car emerging from the shadows, blocking our escape route. Panic seized us as we realized we were no longer alone. Adrenaline pumping, we sprinted through the meadow, our hearts pounding in rhythm with the thudding footsteps behind us. The forest seemed to close in on us as we ran, the trees twisting into grotesque shapes, whispering ominous warnings. The relentless pursuit continued, the unknown assailant gaining ground with every desperate step. We stumbled through the underbrush, our breaths ragged, the darkness swallowing us whole. Cornered and breathless, we turned to confront our pursuer, only to find an empty clearing, devoid of any presence. The silence that followed was deafening, and the once hostile woods now stood eerily still. Confusion and fear gripped us as we tried to make sense of the inexplicable chase. Retracing our steps, we returned to the meadow only to find it empty. The oversized picnic table and abandoned tent vanished without a trace. It was as if the bizarre scene had never existed, leaving us questioning our sanity. In the days that followed, the incident haunted our thoughts. The mysterious disappearance of the meadow and the inexplicable chase lingered, a chilling enigma etched into our memories. Our reports were met with skepticism, the supernatural nature of our encounter dismissed as a product of stress and fatigue. Years passed, but the unsettling events of that fateful night lingered, a spectral presence in the recesses of our minds. The Oregon wilderness held its secrets, and we were mere intruders in a realm beyond our understanding. To those who venture into the unknown, heed our cautionary tale. The wilderness hides mysteries that defy explanation, and some encounters are best left undiscovered. May your journeys be guided by caution, and may the darkness never claim your story as its own. It started as a perfect day for a hike in the Appalachian Mountains. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and a light breeze rustled the leaves. My friend Mark and I were seasoned backpackers, always seeking the thrill of the unknown. Little did we know, this trip would take us to the edge of our courage. As we ascended the narrow trail, a thick mist began to envelop the trees around us. The atmosphere shifted, and the once inviting woods felt eerie and unwelcoming. Ignoring the uneasy feeling settling in my gut, we pressed on, determined to reach the summit before nightfall. The sky darkened faster than expected, and ominous clouds gathered overhead. Mark, usually unshaken, shot me a concerned glance. We checked our map, realizing we were near a clearing that would make an ideal campsite. As we set up our tents, the wind picked up, carrying with it faint whispers that seemed to echo through the trees. It was as if the forest itself was trying to tell us something. Night fell, and the woods were swallowed by an impenetrable darkness. The crackling of the campfire was our only solace. Just as we were beginning to relax, strange noises surrounded us. Twigs snapped, and leaves crunched under unseen footsteps. My heart raced as Mark and I exchanged nervous glances. The forest was alive with unseen eyes, observing our every move. In the distance, we noticed a flickering light through the trees. Investigating cautiously, we stumbled upon an abandoned tent. The fire inside still burned, casting eerie shadows on the surrounding trees. It was as if the previous occupants had vanished into thin air. A sudden chill ran down my spine, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Determined to uncover the mystery, we delved deeper into the woods. The whispers grew louder, now resembling faint cries for help. The mist thickened around us, distorting our surroundings. Panic set in as we realized we were lost, disoriented in a maze of shadowy trees. Suddenly a clearing emerged, revealing a dilapidated cabin. Its windows shattered, doors hanging loosely on rusted hinges. Against our better judgment, we entered. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, and the floor creaked beneath our weight. Mark's flashlight illuminated unsettling symbols painted on the walls, hinting at a dark ritual performed in the desolate cabin. As we reached the cabin's decrepit upper floor, we discovered a room that sent shivers down our spines. Photographs scattered across the floor depicted hikers who had vanished without a trace, their eyes reflecting sheer terror. Among them, we found a picture of us setting up camp, evidence that we were not alone in the woods. With horror sinking in, we realized that the whispers were the voices of those who had met a gruesome fate on this cursed trail. The mist was a veil between the living and the restless spirits, and we had unwittingly crossed into their realm. In a desperate bid to escape, We retraced our steps through the haunted woods. The whispers intensified, pleading for release from their spectral prison. We stumbled back into the clearing near our campsite, gasping for breath as the mist slowly lifted. The following morning, the sun broke through the remaining clouds. We fled the Appalachian Mountains, haunted by the chilling ordeal. To those who dare venture into those woods, heed my warning. The mist conceals more than shadows. Listen closely to the whispers, for they may tell tales of those who never returned. As I share this harrowing experience, I implore you, fellow wanderer, to choose your paths wisely. The woods may seem alive with mystery, but some secrets are better left undisturbed. The Appalachian Mountains hold more than breathtaking views. They harbor the echoes of lost souls.